Hey, I'm a trans woman. Listen to me roar. Meow. So, guys, I'm getting a little more confident in trying some of the psychic stuff on purpose. God, I just wish it was easier to just describe these things in just everyday spoken words. It's so hard for me to do that. A big part of what I'm doing with this crusade that started on July 4th is I am trying to overcome fear. I'm trying to set an example for white people in particular, to show them that there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm pretty sure most of the mean people who leave the hater comments on me are white, and I'm pretty sure virtually all of them would be terrified to set foot in my neighborhood. I'm poor. I got bad teeth because I don't have insurance. It's just so much poverty where I live. Yet we have extreme wealth looking down on us, including Trump Tower or Trump's casino. I mean, it's just. I live in a bizarre world where it's extreme poverty down where I'm at and extreme wealth high above, looking down on us and spitting over the rail and laughing. But I'm trying to conquer fear. I'm trying to be a very brave soul. And for most of the kind of person, I think for the kind of people who like to hate on me, they also hate on people of color and other people. I think their problem is fear. They're afraid to find out that we're all human and we're all spirits in containers and we didn't choose the container. They're terrified to find out. Why are they so afraid to not be afraid? I'm not afraid. So something I'm trying to conquer, in addition to just flat out ugly racism, where so many whites are just so awful to black people, it just breaks my heart. So much ignorance and hate out there. I'm so empathic. Somehow I really intensely connect with people who are being fucked with like I am. It's like I feel it. That's why I'm putting out this distress call I keep doing. I'm calling anybody and anything, any consciousness, anywhere in the multiverse who is aware of what's happening here. The struggle that I am dealing with. The example that I'm trying to set. What I'm up against. And offer some help or guidance or advice. It's about conquering fear. And I know I say things that blow people's minds sometimes. I'm sure I do. But strangely, no one's leaving comments about my Bigfoot stuff, my psychic stuff, my out-of-body experience stuff. Yet you all just want to mercilessly attack me for being myself. And rarely say anything about what I have to say. So guess what? I'm overcoming my fear of mentally ill people. You haters keep calling me mentally ill, saying you want me locked up in a hospital, mental hospital, to keep society safe from the sight of me wandering the streets in my dress. Oh, God forbid your child might see that trans people exist. I'm fighting that. I'm fighting the fear. I'm trying to fight the hate. And I realized, in addition to black people, in addition to immigrants, in addition to other rainbow people, we're not all the same. We all have our own struggles. All those colors on our flag represent different people. And some of us are more than one of those colors, like a Venn diagram, okay? But I hate that haters think all black people are the same, or all immigrants are the same, or all trans people are the same. It's bullshit. We are all individual spirits in our containers. And I have learned to hate and fear the other containers that look like mine. White people scare the shit out of me now. So when I meet a good one, I give them a shout out. Or when I see a good one, that I'm going to give them a shout out. But I'm going to call out and shame the bad ones, like Bob Ritchie, Kid Rock, who likes to terrorize transgender people. You piece of crap. Big man with a big gun, huh? Ooh. What exactly were you saying, Bob, when you shot all that beer? Were you saying you wished you were shooting at me? Is that really what you were saying? A fellow Michigander, an Army veteran? A really decent person? Is that what you're saying, Bob? We're the same age and we're from the same place and we're so different. You know why? Because I'm not afraid. You are. You are. And guess what, Bob? I'm not afraid of you. You terrorized me, but I'm not afraid of you. So back to the topic of this video. I'm also learning to not fear people who really, truly are mentally ill. The transphobes keep saying I am by definition mentally ill because I'm trans, because I dress this way, because I want to be on hormones, because I think I'm a woman. That's their definition of somebody so crazy that they have to be locked up to be kept out of society. If you are someone who cares about me, if you are someone who shares my struggle, if you're someone who appreciates my struggle, if you're a decent human being whose heart does not pump piss like a MAGA person, please look at the comments of any of my videos and see how I'm constantly, endlessly attacked for being crazy, mentally ill, and then they call me the R slur. I'm going to show you haters that people who truly are mentally ill deserve love too, because guess what? They're spirits and that's their container too. So I'm very, very proud to report something here to all of you, to everyone, friends and haters. I tried out my my empathy scan. You know, I got to think of names for these I can't say they're skills, but abilities that I need to learn to skillfully use. But I was brave enough to try it on purpose today. There's a person at the bus stop laughing. As Trump would say, laughing like a liberal left lunatic like myself. This poor man, people were on the bus hating on him. Once again, it was a black man. But this video is about mental illness more than anything. And this poor man was suffering, I'm not an expert, but I would assume it's schizophrenia or some schizoaffective disorder. So here's this man. He's out in public like I am. Only he doesn't have a home to go home to. He was carrying his possessions with him. And I'm assuming he's probably out on the street because of his mental illness more than anything. And I have other videos to make about that kind of stuff. But this poor man is suffering like I am on the same streets. I have also been unhoused myself. I have lived in a car twice in my life, and it was hell. I actually suffered homelessness in which I threw away all my girl clothes because the church people, I was terrified they weren't going to help me and my family to get help if they knew I was trans. And we all agreed it wasn't worth the risk. So I threw away all my girl stuff and went by my dead name while I went through this homeless shelter process with my loved ones while we got the help we needed. But as soon as we were back up on our feet financially, I started my hormones again. I put my girl clothes back on and I found a little bit of pride again, but I had to hide who I was just to get help from some Christians, to get off the street. That's fucked. That is so wrong. That I need to make so many videos about the shit I've been through. I want everyone who sees my videos to realize that transgender people are people and we deserve human rights. And along the way, I want the kind of people who hate on trans people to realize that they better fucking quit hating on my black friends and my Latino friends and my other rainbow friends. And you know what? You better stop fucking with mentally ill people, because I'm sick of it. Because again, there was a mean-ass white man staring at this black man who's struggling with mental illness and being homeless. And then the white guy was glaring at him because the mentally ill guy was getting on the bus, and he was laughing to himself and acting a little bizarrely. Admittedly, who am I to judge? And he was getting on the crowded bus with his possessions. It's a common sight here in Vegas. And Whitey didn't like it. He didn't like this black man taking up half a seat, putting his bags and things there. And I held my tongue for the whole bus ride. But I was like, because I was also having a conversation with my spouse. And we were not trying to shoot a video or trying to get involved in trouble or anything like that. We were just minding our business. But it's hard for someone who's as aware of things as I am, who is as sensitive as I am, to ignore what goes on around her. It's hard for me to do. But guess what? When I got off the bus, that black man with his mental health struggles, carrying his possessions, all of them, he got off the bus too. My spouse and I got off the bus. We have to transfer to another bus, but we just went to the grocery store, and we had a lot of bags of groceries with us. So bear in mind, this is night in Vegas, in the hood. We are alone, unarmed, and unafraid. I'm pretty sure most of you haters would probably carry a weapon to come into my neighborhood. And you think it makes you safer. This is an open carry state. And I'll tell you something, every time I see somebody open carrying, I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable, but that's a whole nother video. But you haters would be afraid to come to my hood, to see where I live, to meet my neighbors, to meet the people who work at my corner store, people who I ride the bus with. Fear would stop you. And I did not let my fear of a man struggling with mental illness stop me from acknowledging a simple, beautiful act of kindness. We got off the bus. My spouse and I got off the bus carrying our grocery bags. We went to the bus stop. We have to wait for another bus to get onto, to transfer, to get home. And that man got off the bus with us. The hater white guy stayed on the bus. Good. But the homeless guy got off the bus. This is nighttime. It's not well lit. Bus stops are nasty. And he didn't want to put his stuff on the ground because there's big giant cockroaches running around on the ground on the Vegas pavement. We have rats. We have giant roaches. It's gross. You probably catch hepatitis off the frickin' sidewalk at a bus stop in Vegas. Nobody wants to be on that ground or put their stuff on that ground. Least of all your food or all of your possessions. So that man put his possessions on the bus stop bench. Because he's waiting for the next bus too, just like me and my spouse. And then my spouse has a bad leg. We're both 55 years old. She wanted to sit down. So she sat down. And then I started putting our grocery bags in the seat in between the mentally ill guy and my spouse. See what I'm saying? So there wouldn't have been room for me to sit down. I was putting our groceries in between the homeless guy's stuff and my wife. And I was just going to stand. But you know what this big, scary mentally ill guy did was, you know what he did? While he was laughing and moving bizarrely and doing his thing. He said, "Ma'am, would you like to sit down? Please let me move my stuff." And he did. And he offered me a seat. And then he picked up his backpack or whatever it was, so I had more room to put my groceries down on the bus bench and so I wouldn't have to put it on the dirty ground with the bugs and stuff. And then he went back to bopping around and doing his thing and laughing and stuff. And I was like, that's a beautiful spirit who's got some struggles with the chemicals in the brain of his container, maybe, I don't know, but spiritually, there's nothing wrong with him. I knew there wasn't. So I summoned the courage to try to peek into his container psychically. It's going to be a whole nother video, but guess what I found when I looked into his container? You're not going to believe what he was laughing at, because I was scared he was laughing at me. He showed me he was nice at the bus stop after we got off, but while he got on, when we all got on the bus, and he was laughing. When you're trans and you're in public, and you hear a strange man laughing, and you didn't hear the joke, I'm not the only trans girl that's going to say, am I being laughed at? Again? Is this happening to me again, for real, on the bus? So I got nervous when I first heard him laughing. So after we got off the bus, and I empathized with him as he was being hated on by the dirty looks of that other passenger, and then we all got off the bus, and he was so nice to me and my wife. I said, I want to know what's going on in his container, so I took a look. First thing I found out was he was not laughing at me at all. And I'm proud that I found that out, even though I had to do it psychically. I found out for sure I had nothing to fear. My fear of being laughed at was not right in that case, and I'm happy to say that I found out for myself. What was I going to do? Ask him verbally, hey, you laughing at me? You know, that never goes well. People get into very bad confrontations that start out like that, right? I'm not doing that. So I was a little bad. I used my psychic ability to scan and then peek into the container of another person. And I wasn't horrified by what I found at all. All I saw was a beautiful spirit who sees the world differently. That's a whole nother video. But much love, everybody. I'm at the same mall where my wife works, waiting for her to get off work, and I hope that hater security guard really did get fired, because I don't want to deal with him again. I really hope he actually did get fired. I'm going to have to follow up on that. But this was about the same time and place that incident happened recently. But that's just my trans life. It's just part of it. But I can say with pride that I overcame my fear, not only of a black man, but of a mentally ill man. He was kind. I empathized with him in his struggle. And then he was kind to me. I acknowledged that kindness. And then me looking into his mind and his soul and his heart was not, I don't really feel bad. It wasn't an intrusion. I don't think people are aware when I do that. I'm not sure they are. I don't think they are. So he didn't know I was looking in on him. I almost feel bad, like, for doing that, like it's a violation, but no, not really. Because I got a lot out of that. I got to see through the eyes of a person who's probably schizophrenic. And go ahead, haters. I know you love that. Go ahead, blast away on the keyboard, you fucking losers. I'm not crazy. I'm none of the things you keep saying trans people are. None of it. But you know what I am? I'm brave. And I'm braver than you, MAGA cowards. Because I go out into the world on the mean streets of Vegas, alone, unarmed, and unafraid. God bless America. Much love.